Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to shoot our first ever podcast on the channel, and it is about the highly debatable topic IIT versus US universities for your master's program. And today we have Varun on our channel. He is pursuing his master's in robotics from IIT Delhi. Today we're gonna try to cover every aspect of it: cost, academics, curriculum, your skill development, your professional growth, ROI, everything. And I hope that you would be able to make an informed decision after this video. So, without wasting any further time, let's get straight to the podcast. Hi, Varun, how are you?
Hey, hello. Hi, Ayush.
So, we have been planning to shoot this podcast for a very long time now. And in fact, this is the first podcast that we are doing on the channel, and you're the first guest. Before we begin, would you like to give a short introduction about yourself to our audience?
Hello, guys. So, I am Varun Shinde. I have done my B.Tech from SISGST College in computer. Now I'm doing my master's at IIT Delhi in M.Tech robotics. So, yeah, that's all about me.
Oh, so your undergrad was from Mumbai itself.
Yeah, yeah. Mumbai.
Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. So the idea behind this podcast was that actually I get a lot of doubts and queries about international education, specifically about US education system. So we thought that we should do something which compares the Indian education system, specifically about masters, and the US education system. So MS versus MTech, where we would be discussing the admission process, the academics, the costs, the career opportunities, personal growth things. So there are a lot of segments that I have divided, and the first one happens to be admission and entry requirements. So let's start with it. And if you have any questions in between, please go ahead with that. We would want this podcast to be interactive, so that our audience is able to grasp as much information as possible. So like the first question what I have written here would be is like, what is the admission process for IITs?
Okay, so should I just talk about the master's part or like B.Tech
No,
master's?
like your master's part would be fine.
Okay, so for like master's part, you have a exam which is like for MSc and other, you have an exam like a separate exam. It is known as IIT Gate Jam. So there is a separate kind of syllabus for each like disciplines. In order to get into engineering courses, you have an exam which is known as GATE.
Mhm.
So in the same, you have like different papers for the disciplines which you like. You can write a paper in your respective, like if I have done my B.Tech in CS, I can write a paper as a part of CS and any other also if I want. Like there are few disciplines which are like open to all. So yeah, that is the process. Once you give the exam, you get a score as well as a rank. Then using those score and rank, you need to set for the like you need to fill the form of respective IITs. So in for the master's part in India, we have two different counseling parts. One is known as COAP and one is known as COEP. Sorry, COAP and the other one is CCMP. So COAP is especially like separate for IITs, all the old as well as the new, and the CCMT is for the NITs and other like CFTIs and other government colleges, etc. So for IIT especially, you need to fill out the respective IIT's form for the respective program. Let's say I want to apply for M.Tech robotics, I need to go to IIT Delhi's applications page. There I need to apply for that particular program, fill in my details, and then I get a form. That's it. So my details are then saved at their end. After the application period is over, you get, like, if your score is within the criteria limit, you get a call for interview or a programming test, or maybe some aptitude test. Depends on the institution, like depends on the specific IIT and the specific program.
Hmm.
So they test you for the course, and then if you clear it, you get into the course. That's the process.
Okay, so like I was unaware of this. I thought that you just have to give GATE and then you would be directly getting into an IIT, exactly the way people do in like for their bachelor's. You give JEE mains and JEE advanced, and then you do your counseling and stuff, and you get into an IIT. I was unaware that you have to apply individually to colleges. Is like in US education system also you have to individually apply to all the universities where, and then they give you either an interview call or they give you the admit letter, whatever their process is. But I was unaware of this, and it is very insightful to know that, okay, we have to apply individually here also. So, like, did you submit any research papers also, or was it just the examination?
Like that depends on the application portal which that particular IIT has made. If some of the IITs have made a specific section in their form, like where you can add other work, like my resume, my CV, my research work, some certificates, etc. So you can add it. It helps, like it boosts your profile a bit, as I think the same happens for the universities also, like abroad. The similar process happens, but it is not like mandatory to have one. Even if you don't have one, you can apply for one.
That's very interesting. So, like here in IITs, there is an admission quota also, right, for different castes, because there we do not have that.
Reservation quota.
So,
Yeah.
how important do you think it is, and how was it an obstruction for you, or did it play a integral role in your application? What do you think about that?
Obstruction, not exactly obstruction, but yeah, the cutoffs are different for different reservation categories. They might have been placed for some specific reason. We can't complain about it. Like, why do I have to score more than the other kid?
Yeah, yeah, I
So
can
yeah,
understand that. I can
yeah.
understand that.
So, but yes, there is the there are scores which are less. Like, if I belong to a particular category, I need to maybe score a little less. But yeah, it is not that simple. It affects you. Like, you can consider it maybe as for a particular course. Let's say if the cutoff score is 900 out of 1000, and it is for general, and let's say for other it is 800. So for that course, when you get into a classroom where people have 900 score and some have 800 score, the 800 score kid might feel a little bit overwhelmed to catch up to the guy who has 900 score. Like, it
Ah,
happens a way ki you need to cope up with how everyone is uh,
performing in the
progressing.
class. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have good, like if you really are focused into the course, score is nothing like a factor which matters. But some of the cases, these things also happen. Like, you need to cope up with those kids also, because they go on scoring higher and higher, and you feel like, do I really know this?
And not only this, if you are planning to have a job in the future also, you would have to make it up to the mark of that kid just to make sure that you are
Exactly. Exactly.
competent and you are also equally performing. That is a
Yeah,
very good point. Yeah, you're right about that. So you just
yeah.
told me that this. Okay, were you saying anything? Please go ahead.
Yeah. People feel like me and you, like when we are applying for any admissions for colleges in India, like why I need to score more.
Hmm,
But like we feel it as a disadvantage. But some of the other way, it is like we can't really take it as a disadvantage. The people who are getting in at a less score have a much more burden, like much more thing to cover up than us.
true,
So
true.
it is not the only thing which obstructs us, as you said. Yeah, please
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
continue.
So, like you told me that research work is also optional. So, are there any other um, factors or other deciding factors which play an important role in the admission process? Like for US, you have to submit your SOP, your LORs, your research work, your internship experience and stuff, your transcript. So they look at the profile holistically. So does that happen here also, or does GATE play a major role in this, and the other ones are like very trivial? What is it?
Not like gate plays a major role, but yeah, it plays like a 50% part. The rest 50% is what you are as an individual. Let's say if I have done a job for 2 years in the same particular field.
Hmm.
So if I am, let's say, applying for M.Tech CAC, and I have been doing a job as a software developer in the same field in some specialization, maybe AI or something. So
Hmm.
doing like adding it to your application adds up to like when you apply for the role, when people will be examined, your application will be picked up first. He has a bit of experience in the field. So yeah, your application gets boosted up, you can say. It is not like mandatory, but yes, it certainly adds up a value. Gate is not the only thing which you need to crack. Like it might happen like a candidate who has a lesser gate score than you, but has a good overall profile. Let's say a good job experience, some one or two research papers in the same field will help his profile more than you. Like he has much more chances to get into the course than you.
So they
So
also
it
look at
plays
the
a role.
profile
Yeah.
holistically. Okay, okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes, it,
That's nice. That's
yeah.
nice. So, like, does networking or mentorship also play any role during the process? Like contacting seniors or maybe uh, professors or something. Does that also play a role?
During admission, it plays next to zero role. Like
Hmm,
during
hmm,
admission, your profile is like judged completely on the basis of what all things you have submitted. It is not like if I know some of the professors, I get a referral kind of thing. That it is not the case. Like you during admissions, there is no role. Later on, when you get into the course, you get some help. Like if you want to do some research in abroad countries under a specific professor, maybe. So there it might help, but not during the admission.
I mean, like during the initial process, it does not help at all, right?
No,
Hmm.
it
So, like,
doesn't.
you have your classes on a daily basis, or is it according to the subjects that you have picked? What is it? What's the academic experience here in IIT like?
So it is like for the subjects that I have picked, only those lectures I need to set. Like there is like few of them have attendance criteria, few of them don't. So it is dependent on me, like whether I need to sit for a course or not. Some of the courses have a 75% attendance criteria. That is because whenever you apply for a master's degree in India, you get a stipend which is of 12,400 from UGC.
Per month.
So yeah, per month.
Okay.
So if your attendance goes down below 75%, your stipend stops. So in order to regulate that, only for that purpose, the attendance is monitored. Rest, it is not that mandatory. Also, for the courses, there are some of the courses, like there is a new thing which I learned in. Um, it is known as sit through. So if you are really interested in a particular course, but you don't really want to add it into your that semester's course sheets, so you can actually sit through the course. Like you can learn, you can use all the resources, learn from the professors, but you don't really have to give the exam. So it doesn't affect your CGPA, and also you get to learn. Like it is a
Hmm.
great thing which I thought.
That is
Also,
kind of
there
a
are some,
bonus thing, like if you want to
yeah,
learn
yeah,
without
bonus thing.
hampering us. Okay, okay, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You don't like the professors don't say that you can't sit into this particular course. You can sit in any course you like. Uh, yeah, people can explore more. Like you don't have to really like add it into a course. And let's say if I don't really like in the initial days, I feel like it is good, but after a while, it feels a little heavy. So I don't really have to do that. I can just learn at my own pace. That's a good
Hmm,
thing.
that's nice. Like you have been here for 2 semesters now, and what did you what do you think about it? Like, is the education in an IIT, specifically about M.Tech, is it more theory focused or what? What do you feel about it now?
So, the education is majorly focused in both parts, like the theory part is also there and the practical part is also there. Practical part is focused more, 70% is practical and hardly 30% is theoretical part. But yeah, theory is, theory is also given importance because in order to do something, you need to also know that how the fundamentals are working. So it is a good mixture of both. Yeah.
So, like for US universities, they mostly emphasize on research and hands-on learning. I would also like to highlight this point that there also you get to choose your subjects, and then accordingly, whatever subject that you chose, the professor has the right to decide that how many exams does he want to take, how many, what's the attendance criteria that he wants to set, what's the syllabus. He can do everything. He has the total control of over the subject. And to be honest, I have been studying there for almost 1.5 years now, and I also feel that the US education system is more inclined towards research and hands-on learning because I have had subjects where theory was not at all important. I would say that. I would say that this thing that theory was not at all part of that subject, and the subject was software security. We just had to code and we just had to deliver projects in time, and that's it. But at the same time, I also had subjects where theory was the prime focus. So it is a perfect match of both the things, and it was good. And what do you think? Did I see that you also have a RA experience? So is it like easier to get access to the facilities, mentorship, or funding or research, funding for research, basically? What is the scene here like?
So the RA part which I have been doing, it is not exactly like the funding. Like you don't exactly like I have not thought of any research project and then applied for it. So the thing is the for some of the specialized courses, since I am in M.Tech robotics, mine is a specialization kind of. So for those things, few of the companies approach IITs. As I told you, we get a stipend of 12,400. So as a part of it, we need to do a TA work or a RA work, depending on the course
Mhm.
usually. Most
Mm,
of the courses don't have RA part. Like if
mm.
you go into a generalized form, let's say if I do M.Tech CSE, you don't usually have RA part. You need to do only TA work. So in the RA part, companies approach your program coordinator, and then then like there is a interview of the students where you need to submit your CVs and all. So there they shortlist you, and then they have some of the projects there. You can apply for one, like, whichever one suits with your interest. You can apply for that, and then you get selected for. So that's the way I got the project. The project which I am doing, it is uh, it is not like I have to do it on my own. I have a mentor at the company who's actually also part of the IIT only. He's a PhD graduate. So it
Mhm.
feels kind of like a good the like
A good bonding team kind of
yeah, a
uh,
good
feel.
bonding kind of thing. Like he understands what the curriculum is now. Like when during the course I will be much more busy. When at what time I will be able to give a time. Like he understands the course well, so there is a good connection with him. So the research happens in a good and organized manner. It's not like he doesn't understand that there are exams and etc. There is a good understanding there. Yeah, and regarding the I forgot your first question. What was that? Before RA?
Like, is it easier to access the facilities and stuff if you get an RA position? What is it?
Yeah, yeah, it is quite easier. And also, even if you are not a part of any area work, you can always approach professors. The professor here not only have the duty of teaching you, all the professors are assigned to one of the labs. So
Mhm.
whichever resources which you need, you can always approach those professors which are a part of lab, and they will always provide you with those particular things. Like if I need a lidar sensors for my project, I can always approach the professor, and yeah, I will be granted the access.
Because that
Like
is
there
really
are
good that if you
ample
are.
amount of opportunities. Sorry.
Mm. I'm saying that it is really good that if you are associated in a project with Professor, let's suppose X, and if you want to use some instruments from another professor's lab, so you can do that. You can borrow it from there. You can. And that is good. That is good. A mutual co-learning thing happens, and I really appreciate that it is happening here in India as well. So, like, how does the professor-student interactions have in classes? Like, what is the class size? Is it specifically subject-based, or like the popular ones have more students, or is it like something else here that is being followed here?
So it majorly depends on how comfortable are you with the course. Initially, the registrations for a particular course might be a lot. So depending on the registration, the classrooms which are allocated are big ones. But most of the students feel comfortable on like not attending the lectures and learning on their own. So most of them usually don't sit into the lectures. Some of them who have really interest in the subject and have really want to communicate more with the professors, have their personal doubts, projects, etc. They attend the lectures, and it is not like the teaching is really nice. Yeah, but the courses and all, it is depending on you, like whether you actually need to sit for the course or you can uh, handle it on your own.
That's then
Yeah.
you mean to say that you have total independency of what you want to do.
Yeah, yeah, total independence.
So let's hop on to the segment three. The segment three that I've written down here is financial consideration, which plays a major role, especially if you want to decide if you want to go abroad or not. I am still unaware of what happens here for IITs. But financial consideration is very important, like the cost of education, the living expenses, ROI, all these things need to be taken care of before you take a final decision that what do you actually want to do. Like how affordable is an IIT? What about scholarship? What about financial aid opportunities? If yes, if it is possible, then did you get any? Would you like to recommend someone that, okay, you can follow this route to get one? What is it?
So regarding the financial conditions, the uh, like you can say the tuition fees as well as the other payments which you need to do, they are not as much as compared to when you go to abroad. Like let's say you might have taken a education loan for, let's say for example 60 lakhs. So uh, that much big of a amount is not actually needed. You can get your 2 years M.Tech degree done in less than 5 to 6 lakhs, including everything, the hostel, the tuition fees, any other extracurricular
That
activities.
is
Maybe
very cheap.
6
That
lakh
is
is,
very cheap.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, you get a stipend of 12,400 per month, so that also kind of dilutes the amount. Like, so the final amount which comes back to it, it is not that much. Also, there are many education loan fees, like interest fee education loan schemes also, which you can apply to. There are several scholarship opportunities which are provided by not only government schemes, there are many private institutions also which like you need to apply for them, and based on your applications, you get a grant. There are several ways which you can even waive off those remaining amounts also. So the regarding the tuition fees and that part, that is good. Regarding the ROI, that depends on you, like where do you want to have your future in. So let's say if I want to have in India, I want to stay in, like let's say I'm in Delhi. So if I decide I want to settle in Delhi, so I need to look for jobs in Gurgaon or nearby places. So then your package might be depending upon your living expenses, etc. So that all depend. Like the ROI which you mentioned depends on where you want to actually settle down. It is not like your course will be always cheap. Your course will be almost, uh, if I roughly say, it would be almost one-fourth of the ROI which you are going to get. Only the one-fourth amount will be the course, and you can get what I'm saying. So that's it on the ROI part. That
So,
entirely depends on which city you are belonging. If you are going to settle in Bangalore, maybe, so then too your ROI is going to be good.
You can comment on ROI specifically after you get a job, or maybe if you start earning one. So, like, what is the average salary that you get after you graduate from an IIT, specifically from a master's program? Any rough figure?
That depends on like which discipline you are getting into.
Like most of the
As
students
we know,
these days
like
are,
computers have high placements. We all
yeah,
know that
yeah,
the
yeah. I was about to say that.
computers always have high placements. So, as a computer science graduate, if I'm looking into an SD role, maybe, or maybe some other discipline also, you can always apply for the placements. So, for a SD role, maybe you can always expect a minimum of 20 to 25 plus LPA. That is like the average part. You get always scope for above. If you have exceptional skills, you can aim for 50 or 50 plus. There are many international offers also.
Mhm.
So the placements part is not like it is very good, but finally it depends upon like where you want to actually continue your research part. Yeah, if you are interested into studying more and research on a particular topic, so you might not search for placements. You might search for any other higher education opportunities. So it is dependent on both.
Now I am
However,
able to, yeah, please go ahead. Please go
yeah,
ahead.
like how are the education, like higher education opportunities when you go to abroad? Like if you now you're currently in your master's, if you want to continue it in a PhD, so will you be able to switch, or you need to like are the options easier to switch into a new university since you are already studying into an US university? Like from India to US and then US to US. That's the thing which I'm asking.
It is very easy. It is very easy. It is just like a normal process. What you would do from India, you would do from US. If like I am pursuing my computer engineering degree, my master's degree, if I want to switch to completely computer science, I can do that. But it's just that I'm not wanting to do PhD now. It's my personal choice. Although if there is some student who wants to do it, if he wants to do it from Arizona State University, if he wants to do it from any Ivy League, if he wants to do it from CSU, any college, any university, he can do that. So it is just like a very normal process. You can do that, yes. So yeah, that I think that answers your question.
No, actually, I was asking about the acceptance rate. So when you were in Delhi, when you were applying for ASU and might be any other college also, you might have felt the acceptance rates and the overall like the application procedure. So that might have been a bit difficult. Than now, since you have since you will get a degree in, let's say, 6 months, I guess you are in the third semester, right? So after you graduate from here, when you have a degree from a US college, so does it help to get PhDs there? Like your application gets accepted much more easily, or is it the same?
I would say it does not create much of a difference because IITs are also respected there a lot, and it would create a little bit of difference, but not that much. To be very honest, not that much. So you can get your master's from India and then also you can go for your PhD. The acceptance ratio would not vary a lot. It would be a very trivial amount, I would say. Yeah. And especially the insights that you gave about the financial considerations, I think that especially the amount that you told, 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs for 2 years of education is like very cheap. Even if you don't get any financial aid opportunities, and if I count everything in 6, 7 lakhs at max, and then you get a job of around 20, 25 lakhs, the ROI seems to be good. However, I would like to comment that in the US, you pay around 50 lakhs, but if you are willing to fight, if you are willing to put in the hard work, you would get scholarship and financial aid opportunities there also. But the pay package uh, once you graduate from your university, it is relatively higher. I would comment on that, especially because a few of my friends who graduated in May 24, they were 1 year senior to me. They have been placed in Amazon, Intel, few are in Meta, few are in Netflix. So their pay package is relatively good. It's around $130,000. And if you are not in a very lavish lifestyle kind of, if you're not a very lavish lifestyle living kind of person, so you would be able to save a lot of money. But it's just that the initial thing, spending 50 lakhs out of pocket without knowing what would happen in the future is something that refrains students from going there. Am I correct? Am I going right?
Yeah. I can
Hmm.
clearly
Initially, when I
understand.
was also going there, I had a backup plan. I got a loan sanction from a private bank, but I was ready to put in the effort. I was working very hard and stuff. So I did get my scholarship. It was all waived off. My tuition and stuff was waived off. But yeah, I can understand that it does not happen to everyone. And paying 50 lakhs, especially if you are from a middle class family, for your abroad education can be very daunting. So I can understand that, but it's
Yeah,
just a matter of personal choice.
Yeah, 50 lakhs plus the interest also, like that
Hmm.
adds up to it, and it like the amount goes off the roof. It's not like
Hmm.
you
Hmm. Hmm.
only pay 50 lakhs. There
It's
are
very
so many
frightening. It's very frightening.
components.
I can totally understand that.
Like
So
some
like,
of my friends, when I came to know from them, like there are other like components also. Like you need to pay simple interest for some period, and then when you get to job, you need to pay compound interest. Like so many scary things, so much of amount you need to pay just for
I
those
haven't told
applications.
this on my channel before, but I would tell you that I for my first semester I took out 10 lakh rupees from the 50 lakh amount that I got sanctioned 50 lakh rupees, and from that I took 10 lakh to pay my first semester fee. So after that, everything was falling in place. My fee was continuously getting waived off semester by semester. So I was earning also at that time there in the US, like from October 23 itself. So I had saved a pretty much a good amount, more than what I took out of that took out of loan. So in just in just 1 year, that 10 lakh rose to around 12 lakh 2,000 rupees, like 2 lakhs in just a year. So imagine if I would have taken out 40, 50 lakhs by now, it would have easily touched 60 lakh mark. Very easily, very, very
Easily,
easily in just
easily.
a year. So it is daunting. It is daunting. I can
Yeah.
totally relate to that. So let's move ahead. And now we have a segment which says career opportunities. So you have already discussed about the placement system here, but what do you think? How is it like here in IIT? Is it that companies visit the colleges like they do in India, or you have to apply by yourself to the companies, and maybe you have to go to career fairs, networking events, because that is what we do in US universities. Companies do not visit us.
Yeah. So in IITs, as it happens in most of the colleges in India, companies do visit the college. As you also get a preference to say, let's say, if I want a particular company to visit the campus, you can always approach your placement cell, and they can arrange for that particular company to visit the campus. So
Mhm.
there are like ample amount of opportunities. Many companies visit the campus. There are two phases. Phase one just got finished now. Phase two will begin from late January onwards. So yeah, the placements go in this manner. Apart from this, if you want to apply to a company off the campus, then also you can do it, do that. You can approach it and then maybe give interviews and like the placements. You don't need to worry about college fairs or something. The much of the startups visit your campuses, so it is quite good.
That's good. That's good. Like I have pretty much basic understanding, basic to intermediate level of understanding about the placement system in Indian education system, but you threw some real good light on that. So like this was a very basic thing about career opportunities. You already discussed in very detail in the previous segment itself. Uh, Hopping on to the next one, I see that this also the personal growth and cultural exposure. I've named this section as personal growth and cultural exposure. Do you think, according to your experience, do you think apart from academic skills, is there anything else that you have gained from studying at IIT? I'm talking about maybe your cultural skills, your social skills, your professional skills, or maybe something other than that if you have.
See, I'll give you a most honest answer which I could. So there are ample amount of like what you're suggesting is maybe like, are there any extracurricular activities which are being done, and do I get time to participate in it? So yes, I get a few time to participate in it since M.Tech is most of a 2 year course, you have your courses, your projects all aligned in a manner. You don't get much time to involve in it, but yeah, it's not like you are like completely cut off from it. You get time to enjoy those activities. Me as a personal, I have participated in badminton sports practices. I go to it a few times a week, maybe whenever I get time to relax a bit. As a personal growth, like if you are saying like if you want to really be good at the sport or maybe any other music or etc., there are many small groups which you can join. There are several clubs which practice. There are dance clubs, ample amount of clubs, like not only Western dance or something. You have everything: Western, classical, folk, everything. Also in singing, you want to sing a particular band. Let's say if you want to learn more about metal, so there are many like there are ample amount of opportunities for you to take advantage of. But yeah, you need time to adjust to the process. I have been here for 6 months now, so
Hmm.
I'm just adapting to this uh, process, how the exams, how the study is now going on. Since uh, if you are in B.Tech or maybe you get 4 years, so you get adjusted to this culture, this setting which I am seeing in 1 year maybe, and after that you know that okay, now exams are going to come, so these weeks are going to be packed, so I have time now, I can practice on this. So in B.Tech you get time to enjoy all these things. In masters, in M.Tech especially, don't have much time, but in MSR or PhD, yes. MSR might, I think so, you might not know. MSR is similar to a master's. It is a master's degree, but it is more research oriented. So it is a 3 year course where you get to
Oh,
choose your subjects and whichever research area which you want to do. There are different types to it. Different IITs call it M.Tech RA, some call it MSR. There are different names and different like curriculum of it is also different. But yeah, it is a 3 year course, so you also get time. 2 years is very less to get adapted to this IIT culture. Not like IIT culture, but this kind of setting.
to
When you
interact
come from a
socially
tier two
a
college,
lot and to go into cultural fests and stuff. Like you have
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
academic burden to take care of.
Yes, yes. Adjusting to this flow and also enjoying these activities. You get time,
Okay.
not like you get like, entirely sidelined, but yes.
Also, I'm getting a little off the topic, but is this MSR what you told? Is it something that requires you to write a paper and then it lets you graduate? Is it or is it something else? Like there's a option of MS thesis over there in the US where you have to write a research paper, and if your paper gets approved, then only you can graduate. And if you just choose MS portfolio option, you like graduate normally. You give your exams and you pass your subjects and then you graduate. So as MSR similar to MS thesis?
Some way, yes, you need to publish a paper. I'm not completely sure, but yes, I guess you need to publish a paper. And some of the IITs, like some of them, usually don't let you choose exactly like freehand, like I want to do this. There are some of the programs which they have, you can choose from them. Like, let's say if I want to do if I am interested more in computer architecture, so I can apply for MSR in computer systems. Then a professor would interview me, and then he would see where my research interests align. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so paper writing is not mandatory. Like it is mandatory, I guess. I'm not sure, but it depends on the professor entirely. because he is going to validate your entire coursework. So yeah.
I'm gonna research about this. That like, what is it? I've heard about this for the first time. So, yeah. Now let's
Yeah.
jump onto the final section: long-term goals. So, I this was hopping in my mind, so I just wrote it down as a questions. What did you have in your mind before getting into an IIT? I mean, I'm talking in terms of your career, because if a student is looking to settle abroad, they generally prefer studying in the US. So, what did you have in your mind?
So settling in abroad is not my final intention. Like I currently now, I was much more focused on learning. I wanted to learn from like best of the people in the field. So
Hmm, impressive.
so I I'm not like bragging about it, but I wanted to like see uh what good kind of education you can get. What is the best you can get? So majorly in the field of AI, like you have really good professors here. There are uh, other also, but like my thought process of getting into an IIT was majorly that I wanted to learn the things which are like the best taught, like more in a practical way, not like only theoretical learning, all the paragraphs of stuff and just writing, more of like a practical approach view and
Mhm,
majorly get to know those people so you get to work on the projects. See, the professors here are working on many of the projects which are currently live into the system, which are which are really needed in today's world. So you get to work on those things also. You get a coursework part also, like you are learning also, and then also real life project also you get to involve in them. You get best of both worlds. You don't need to study like primarily what we do is we study for a course and then we look for internship opportunities in other companies to get an industrial view of that particular same subject. For example, let's say AI. If I want, like, I'll enroll into a course of AI and then learn about AI, what all things are then, and then look for some AI jobs, AI architect maybe, data scientist. So here you get to do both of things at the in the same flow. You don't need to look for it in another way. So that was the thing which I wanted from IIT, and that is happening.
that's really insightful. Um, that you have had a clear point of view and a clear thought in your mind before you actually took this decision. That's really nice, because people generally go with the flow just because everyone is doing it. And to be honest, that is not the best thing that you should do. Everyone is different, every individual is different, and what you have to do, you should decide. It should not be someone else who has to take decisions on your behalf, and that is totally I totally appreciate what you have done. Like I have now the all the basic comparison segments have ended and we are already approaching the end. I have few questions for you. Uh, like if you were to answer this question mandatorily, what misconceptions do you have right now about studying abroad in the US which you would want to get cleared, or you think that students generally have, which we should clear?
Okay. Um, hmm, I'm not pretty sure, but I guess majorly students find it difficult to know like what all application ways, like what are the ways I can get into the particular university. Like, for example, one of my friends, he like there were ways through which he contacted the professor, and then professor guided him for a particular course. Then he applied for the course, and then he got into it. But initially, when he had just applied a blank way, like a bluntly, just so at that time, his application had got rejected. So I feel that is one way. Uh, Majorly, like when you say like tier two college students like me, like we don't have much view like how do we get into Ivy League colleges? Like what are the ways which you can get into them? Are there any master's program, PhD programs? Not the general flow. Like we know that you give GRE, you apply for the course, and then you get. Are there any other ways to get? Like, do we contact any professors? Are there any separate exams? This is some of the doubts which I have.
Okay, so I really like this idea. I am gonna shoot a video about this and I would upload this on my channel. Like, how is the flow of admission? What all things do you need to do? Because to be honest, every university there has their own admission criteria. Few of them accept GRE, few of them do not, few of them just accept TOEFL, few of them do not, few of them have waived off both of them, few of them have just waved off one of it. Like it is not something which can be classified generically. You have to research on each and individual university, what are their requirements, and then you have to apply. Few of them require just an official transcript works for them. They would not accept unofficial transcript, but few of them are lenient. They would accept your unofficial transcripts as well. So I will note it down. It is I'll have to do some research on this, although I know the answer right now. If I were to answer it like in a minute or so, I would say firstly GRE, TOEFL, then your SOP, then LOR, and then you apply to those university, you wait for admit, and then you proceed ahead with your loan, your visa, and then you go to the US. So this is how I'm getting a call. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So this is how
Yeah.
you do it. But what happens is in general, you cannot classify it or generalize it. But yeah, if I were to say upper say, this is what it happens. This is how it happens. I hope it answered your question.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm definitely going to make a video on this in detail so that it can help the students also. This never came in my mind. I'm definitely going to shoot a video on this. So Varun, if you were to do it all over again, would you choose the same path? Would you still choose IIT and not a US university? Like if you were to take a decision again.
If I get a chance to study abroad, it's okay, but studying in India and settling down here, that's the final part.
I get it, Adu. So if you had to pick, like, would you rather work on a robotics project? Since you are in a robotics field, so I'm asking you this. If you get a chance to work on a robotics project in an IIT versus working on a robotics project in Silicon Valley, what would you do?
Hmm. I would no doubt choose IIT. No doubt.
Okay, still you would choose IT.
Yeah,
That's nice that you have such
like
clarity.
this
I
feels
really
more
appreciate
like
that.
I am biased towards like this feels more like I am biased towards IIT, but that's not the case.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I somehow feel like when you get to like work with people who are of your kind, like who have come from tier two colleges. Many of the people I meet here, like in masters especially, have come from tier two colleges, have struggled a lot, have done the hard work. So when you work with such similar mind people, you get to learn more, you get to collaborate more, you learn. Finally, the output is more. Is that is what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. I really appreciate the clarity that you have. Let's do a very quick rapid fire round and sum this podcast up. What's your favorite robotics project?
My favorite robotics project currently, which I have done we have been doing a Robocon project. So Robocon is an international competition. So we had been given the same problem statement as a part of our coursework. So we had developed the robot for that. Like it
Uh,
was a
what
prototype, but yeah,
what do you like about Delhi the most?
I like my college. The
That's
most
it.
I like my college. Yeah, yeah.
And what do you dislike about Delhi?
Uh, about Delhi, I dislike. I haven't explored it much. But yeah, the pollution maybe.
I was about to say that. I was like 99% of the people I meet, and whenever I ask them that, what is it that you're not liking here? Pollution is the straight answer. And same is the case with you. Would you like to give us two disadvantages of studying in an IIT?
Two disadvantages in studying in an IIT.
Hmm. It is a rapid fire round, Varun.
Sorry about that. It's not like it. I can't think of any. No, I don't know.
That's nice. That's nice. It's
Like
totally
I need
fine.
to think about it. I can't think
Hmm.
it as a.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is there any dream university of yours abroad where you would want to study if you get a chance?
If I get a chance, I would like to study in Stanford.
Stanford. Hmm. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice. So I just wrote down five questions, five rapid fire round questions, and it was a very good podcast. I got to know a lot of things. I was literally unaware of most of the things that you told. I thought that GATE is the only thing that you give just to get into an IIT for a master's program. About the education, how does it work there? I was unaware of how you take up classes, how the professor gives you freedom to either come to the class and like you are totally independent there, your research opportunities and stuff, your professional skills and your placements. So like it was good. I hope that our audience finds it to be informative just the way I did. And if there's anything else, if you would like to discuss, please go ahead. Otherwise, we would like to now end the interview. I think it's already an hour or so, approximately an hour.
Hmm.
Would you like to say anything before we end this?
It was a really nice time with you. I'm happy if whatever the information which I have shared would be valuable to your audience. Any
Hmm.
like After all, we are always a student. We always need to know what all opportunities are there. And yeah, it
Hmm.
was a great time with you.
Same was the case with me also, Varun. I hope I'll see you in another podcast very soon. Also, would you mind if I share your social media links in the description, or if you would refrain from it, it's totally fine.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
your LinkedIn or something.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You can say.
Okay. So let's end this podcast now. I hope our audience enjoyed it, and yeah.